Hey everybody, welcome to TSP Weekly. We are here on site at Conestoga College, the Cambridge campus, and excited to be here for Pitch Day. It is a big event. We have Mike Wekerle from the Dragon's Den.
It's Tuesday the 24th.
Oh yeah, we didn't say the date, hey?
Of March.
That's right.
2015 still.
And if you are watching the video version, you can see us in wonderful video.
Three
HD. There you go. I know you're used to just hearing us talk, but we are putting out an audio version of this as well. But if you are,
we'd like to apologize in advance.
That's right. If you are only listening to the audio version right now, feel free to head on over to YouTube, do a search for TSP Weekly, and you should be able to find us and see us in living, moving glory.
So they are actually in the background right now doing some drawings for some prizes for some of the attendees.
Yep. And we're just waiting for everybody to come out of the main auditorium and start mingling behind us here. We're going to have some guests lined up to come and sit and talk with us. We've got some people who are pitching, some people who are judges. Hopefully Mr. Wekerle will come and grace us with his presence for a little while as well. But we got some great stuff coming up, so keep watching and we'll see what happens.
It should be a blast. It'll be at least amusing, so
absolutely
enjoy. Interviewing you for the podcast.
Yeah, is this running?
Yeah.
Oh, we're good. You
so
got
welcome.
us? Yeah. So the tensions are building. We're about to get started with the main, keynote.
Yeah.
And,
Barbara Fennessy's going to talk a little bit.
Yep. Followed by Mike Wekerle, and we are absolutely not allowed to record any part of the keynote whatsoever. Apparently, there are legal considerations, and we're happy to respect those.
No notes will be recorded at all.
Right. But yeah, it's high energy here and lots of nervousness among the people about to pitch. Hopefully we'll hear some good pitches in a few minutes.
Yeah, lots of judges in suits. Very serious mood here tonight.
That's right.
Today we have on Tracey Buschlen, and she is the CEO and inventor of KokoBot.
Correct.
And Tracey is involved with the IEEE here at Conestoga College and a Conestoga College student as well, but in the engineering program. Is that correct?
Correct. I'm taking the 2-year electronics engineering technician program, and I hope to be graduating in the next month.
That's awesome.
Excellent.
So Tracey started us off the Conestoga College Pitch Day and was our first pitch out of the gate. How did that feel?
You know what? I think it was to my advantage to be first. I think they were going easy on the first person, and I was feeding off all of the energy in the room. We were all really excited after Weck got us all built up. So I think it was definitely to my advantage to go first. And I know that I have a great idea, so I think I carried the motivation along to the next person.
So give us your idea in a little tiny elevator pitch.
Well, okay, so my kids don't know how to program, but they are playing all day on their games. And I felt that my kids needed to learn something. They should learn how to write the code or how to write the game so that they can be hired when they're older, yet they don't want to because there's no good product on the market to teach code. When I learned how to code from my profs at Conestoga, that little blinking light on the Arduino is what got me. So I thought of a robot which would be fun to play with for kids that would teach code. And I could do it in a way that they wouldn't even realize they were learning.
So you sort of described it as a smart Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, it's pretty much a Mr. Potato Head on wheels that you can program using a smartphone. And the great part is that you can change the character to suit your mood, and the coding will change according to that. So you won't get bored easily of the toy.
Awesome. How did you find giving the pitch? Were you nervous? Did you think it went well? Or
I'm really glad I got to stand behind the podium because I got to hold myself up.
Right.
We couldn't see the pitch shakes at all. You're very good. Good job.
I was shaking pretty badly.
Wow. And how long did you prepare for today?
I've been preparing for months.
Okay. Fair enough. Wow. Well, I think you did a great job. and we got to see some of the, for those who don't know, Steve and I got to see some of the practice pitches a few days ago, and I think in every case, like, there was a noticeable jump in quality between the practice pitch and the final delivery today, and you're no exception, absolutely.
Thank you. Well, I blame quality mentoring for that. The Center for Entrepreneurship is definitely the best. They really got me to this point. That, and I had to get over 2 midterms before I could really finalize my pitch. So it's a pretty busy life, right?
And early listeners of our podcast might not know this, but the Center for Entrepreneurship is where we recorded our first maybe 4 or 5 episodes, I think, of the podcast. So we owe them a debt of gratitude as well. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah.
So is there anybody on your team you'd like to say hello to, or if we wanted to get in touch with you, how do we find out more about KokoBot?
Do you have a website or a Twitter account or anything we can find?
Yes, I own KokoBot.com, so I don't have anything. I'm about to fix it tonight. I'm getting around to it tonight. I've got kids, right?
Nothing like motivating speech like today to get you rolling,
www.kokobot.com, and that's with KokoBot.
Okay. We will definitely go and look for you. Thank you so much, Tracey, for joining us.
Well,
and good luck in the judging, and hopefully you'll have some prizes tonight, right?
That would be great.
We'll find out later on, closer to 8 o'clock. So good luck.
Thank you, or a deal, right?
Absolutely,
or a deal,
which would be just as well, right?
It would be awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Good job.
Thanks, Tracey.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Awesome. All right, so we're here with Rob Saavedra.
How's it going?
Who just pitched Imminy. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yes, you are.
Okay, excellent. Imminy, tell us a little bit about what Imminy is, Rob.
So essentially, Imminy is going to be an online platform for immigrants coming to Canada that's going to connect them to settlement services and have live one-on-one mentoring with service workers and different types of people from different agencies like immigration lawyers, settlement workers. So it's all about connecting immigrants to the services and information that they want.
Well, and what inspired you to come up with Imminy?
So originally, my brother, who's the other co-founder, had won the Code Hackathon competition a year ago. Okay. And it was using government data sets to create an application. And he had created an application that matches people to a city in Canada based on their preferences. So from that win, he eventually took the idea a bit further, and then he brought me on board, and we decided, we're going to make this into something that is really going to innovate things for immigrants coming to Canada. So we decided, what? We're going to take that basic idea and change it around so that we're connecting immigrants to the services and different types of information that they need.
Wow.
Yeah. That's awesome. I know I work over at Innovation Guelph, and in Guelph we have a Guelph local immigration partnership. So do you find that most cities have sort of an organization that are dealing with immigrants and that you can partner with them to sort of bring your message out to immigrants that way through the cities?
I think it is becoming more and more common. And you mentioned Guelph. I was actually at their Guelph-Wellington Immigration Partnership. They had a little conference. And they had
with Ella Henderson?
Yes, and I was there, and it was an awesome experience. And I think a lot of cities now are realizing that going forward, immigration is only going to become more prominent. We're going to have more need for immigrants coming in. So I think it's really good now that cities are realizing we need to be partnering up businesses, settlement workers, and immigrants to kind of work together to create a better Canada.
Now you mentioned in your pitch that you've already established some partnerships with Province of Ontario, Province of British Columbia. How did you form those partnerships? Like, how did you get those connections made so that you could be working at that high level, even at this startup stage of things?
So originally, Barbara from the university here, she had helped connect us with the Conference Board of Canada, which does different conferences for different issues pertaining to Canada. So we were actually able to go to Whistler for their Immigration Innovation Summit. And while we were there, we were able to meet people from different parts of Canada who are working on all these different ideas, some people working in immigration innovation specifically. So we were able to make connections when we were there.
That's quite a sacrifice going all the way out to Whistler.
Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Wow, crazy.
So it was definitely, that's one of the main ways that we've been able to do that is through Conference Board of Canada. For sure.
So do you find that mentorship team at the Center for Entrepreneurship here at Conestoga College is really important to sort of helping you and being the key mentor to introduce you to some of those relationships?
Yes, they've definitely been very valuable. Just the fact that through here is how we got that connection to the conference board. And I think even being in Kitchener-Waterloo as a whole, it's really great to be here and get all different types of opportunities. We've also had help from some of the other educational institutions in the area. So I think young people in this area just taking advantage of every opportunity you can get here because there's so much help available.
Sure. Your pitch sounded very polished. It sounded like the kind of pitch you've given many, many times already in the past. Would I be correct in thinking that or no?
To be honest, this is probably my first time at a pitch competition presenting it.
Really?
Wow, natural.
Wow, you pulled it off great.
Yeah.
I'd say the one thing that has helped me is in high school I did some acting and I was in a band, so I had some experience presenting in front of people.
Yeah. You had some FaceTime.
Yeah, and I did a lot of practicing, a lot of practicing to making sure that it came out good.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's very polished.
Well, where can we find you online if we wanted to follow the development of Imminy?
If you want to follow us, you can go online to imminy.com.
Okay.
It's IMMINY.com.
Mm-hmm.
We also have our different Twitter feeds as well.
Yep.
I'm Imminy Rob, and I think our actual one is Imminy App, at Imminy App.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are probably the two you can find us at. Yeah.
Excellent. Sounds great. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Rob, and all the best with the development of Imminy. I know if I was an immigrant, I'd be anxious to use it, but yeah, that's great.
The judges are probably busy deliberating. You handled your questions really well, so good luck in the judging that comes up in a couple hours. So.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Great. Thanks.
Right now, we have with us Dr. James Kendall with the Gold Sniffer. Welcome, Dr. Kendall.
Thank you very much.
So, Dr. Kendall, you're pitching for the AMT Catalyst category today, is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
One of 3 pitches, really well done.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You liked it?
I did. I really did like it. Yeah, you were very professional, and I think you got a great reception, some very detailed questions, where a lot of the startups weren't able to sort of answer those because they're so early in their stages. So tell us a little bit about the Gold Sniffer. Give us sort of the 30-second pitch. Do you have
30-second,
the elevator pitch? Do you have a tiny one?
That's
Give
right.
us the elevator pitch.
The Gold Sniffer is a portable optical device to analyze mineral samples in the field, on site, in minutes. And the alternatives to getting this sort of data right now are to send the mineral samples away to an assay lab, and response times can be anywhere from a month or even 2 months. Although if you have one locally right there at the mine, it can be a day or two. But then you're limited in terms of how many samples you can analyze. The other thing is you can also send a mineral sample to a scanning electron microscope, which gives you detailed information about the size of the gold particles and the minerals they're associated with.
Okay.
So the Gold Sniffer can do these functions of seeing those gold particles, the minerals they're associated with, and also the grade of the sample, and can do that right there on site in minutes.
Can you find diamonds or other applications with it too, or is there any sort of future plans to get into other? I don't know anything about finding diamonds really, but
well, diamonds are a specific case. They're actually a semiconductor, believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah,
a very
interesting.
large band gap semiconductor.
So it's a completely different way of identifying diamonds in the ground than gold then.
They actually use that principle for identifying diamonds in a diamond mine.
Do you find when you're having to do a pitch like this that it's difficult because you're so educated to sort of dumb it down for guys like, well, me, that ask diamond questions like that? Like, and you're like,
well, I mean, if you want to dummy it down, really saying we're looking for gold
and we find
based
it
on
faster.
its unique color,
yeah,
and we're doing it at micron dimensions.
Yes,
Yeah.
with high resolution photos, and I think people can understand that to a certain extent.
Yeah,
absolutely.
people are used to talking about megapixels.
Right.
So here we're throwing 20 megapixels at 10 square millimeters.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
So we can
Crazy.
actually see micron-sized particles of gold.
And the
Amazing.
crowd tonight seemed to receive your pitch very well. They were very quickly asking some detailed questions about it.
They
it
certainly
didn't-
were, yeah,
Didn't seem like they were.
So what happens now then? Are you how close are you to having the Gold Sniffer out there in the market for the people to be using, or is this like another year or two before this is in the field, or is this a few months, or what do you think?
We're in intensive testing in our own labs at this point, and
Yeah.
then within a few months we'd like to be doing testing at our alpha customers, if you want to call them that, because I hope they will become customers.
Wow.
So then we'll go on to some beta trials with a larger set of customers. So I'm
Well, the
hoping
snow's
we'll
off my lawn, and I have a shovel. So if you need a beta tester,
So I'm hoping we'll be into market in about 6 to 12 months.
well, that's
Excellent.
exciting.
Yeah.
So, and how can we follow your story? Is there a website, a blog, a Twitter account?
There's a website,
Yep.
www.goldsniffer.com.
Okay.
Okay.
And I should point out that 3 Conestoga students developed that website and did a great job.
Wow.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Do you have a shout out to any names in particular? Or?
Yeah,
the team, the Conestoga team.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we're still waiting to find out who won the competition, so best of luck to you. And hopefully we'll see the gold sniffer around in the future soon. But I'm sure it would be a nice boost to the gold sniffer to win something in the competition tonight as well, right? So
Great. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thanks,
you're welcome.
Jim.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
Joining us, we have Barb Fennessy, a previous TSP Weekly guest. I can't remember the exact number of her episode off the top of my head. We've done
probably
so many
3
by
or
now.
4, I believe.
One of the very early guests that we've had. Barb is the architect, I think it's safe to say that, of this event that's going on here today.
She's also the
Pitch
Associate
Day.
Dean of Entrepreneurship and Applied Research, I believe.
That's right. And we've been able to see her in her true form, issuing orders, sending people where they need to be, keeping everybody where they're supposed to be, and making sure everything runs completely smoothly without any hitches, which is wonderful. Welcome, Barb. Thank you for joining us again.
Thank you.
This is an amazing event. We've got so many people here, and the food is good, what little I've been able to try of it. How do you feel about this event so far? We're about halfway through, I think, at this point.
I have to tell you, I'm excited. I think Michael Wekerle did a great job of setting the stage.
Mm-hmm.
He inspired the students. He inspired the audience. He had some great messages, great lessons learned, was pretty honest about things that he'd gone through and some of the challenges that some of the entrepreneurs will need to overcome.
Sure.
And but at the same time, very inspiring, very positive. And I think it was a great way to get things going.
Absolutely. And what do you think about the pitches? I think all of us got to sit in on some of the practice rounds, and Steve and I were saying we've seen a marked improvement from practice day to today. I don't know if you sensed that yourself as well.
The students have been working really hard. They've been in our incubator in the Center for Entrepreneurship, practicing their pitches. They've been working with their mentors. They've been working through their slides to make sure they've got a good, concise message. And I think they did a great job today. I'm really proud of them.
They seem very professional, and I was very surprised. A lot of nerves sort of just melted away. They weren't very nervous. They seemed a little wound up, but very professional and relaxed almost. So it was really good.
We also heard from Rob from Imminy was mentioning that you sent them out to Whistler, BC to do some networking. We're just wondering how maybe we can get hooked up with some of those resources ourselves. We'd love to do some networking out in Whistler.
Yeah, our Skype is broken.
Well, it's about networking. Yep. I mean, in the world of entrepreneurship, you never know where you're going to connect with somebody that is going to make a difference in your business. And it just happened years ago. I worked at the Conference Board of Canada and worked with a center that focused on issues in immigration. Wow. And so connected them with the director there, and they brought these students on board to showcase their website and the work they're developing for immigrants at a conference in Whistler, BC. It was awesome.
Wow.
That is awesome.
It's all about the
networking.
Connections.
It's about the connections, the intersections. It's about people who can make a difference.
Sure.
And to give those students that kind of a connection and that momentum and that validation is huge, because they will come back walking on clouds and with their chest puffed out and really be anxious and wanting to move forward with it. So that's part of that whole process of getting that momentum going, right?
Absolutely. And so you talked about how confident they seem tonight. They're excited. They've worked hard. They feel good about where they've been able to journey through this process. And the beauty of our programs is that alone is such an advancement in their world in terms of what they can do with their careers, what they can do with their lives. They're developing confidence in themselves, their ideas, and their ability to sell themselves.
Right, absolutely. Well, you seem very well connected, Barb. I think that's what makes you the perfect person to be, running the Center for Entrepreneurship here at Conestoga College, as well as running an event like this, where there's handshaking going on behind us right now, and cards being handed out. We saw some of the people who are pitching, making industry connections, and who knows what's going to come from these connections that are being forged today. So it'll be great to see how things develop moving forward from here.
Yeah, it's fun to watch you in your element doing the delegation dance today, because it's an awesome setup. The energy's there, and so thanks for letting us be a part of it too. We're really excited to be here.
Thank you for being here, and thanks for covering the event.
Yeah,
I appreciate that, and thanks for just being cheerleaders for our students.
Absolutely. Our pleasure.
Yeah, we love to tell the story. So
awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Well, we're here with Mr. Mike Wekerle, the celebrity judge of the event, the dragon himself. And thank you so much for coming out to Conestoga College to participate in Pitch Day, Mr. Wekerle.
Well, thank you so much. You know, there's some great judges alongside me. I felt kind of, you know, like I was the small guy on the crowd. This is a lot of talent on that judge panel. It was really great to see the pitches as people came up with some great ideas, and the turnout was fantastic. I feel what a great college to be a part of when you see the community really banding together and, you know, meeting the people that are organized it, the organizers and the professors and the teachers and the helpers. Man, cool place. Cool Conestoga, I call it now.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much for your keynote speech. It was so I found it so honest and so approachable. You're an intimidating guy, being a dragon and a rock star, but when you talk so much from your heart, it really shows that you know, you do have a lot to offer to the regular man kind of thing. So, you know, really neat.
I grew up in humble beginnings, you know, and I always check my ego at the door when I wake up in the morning. And I find as long as I can keep doing that, touch wood, you know, I won't become someone who, every time I found myself getting too big on myself, the trading gods used to get me trading. So it cost me a lot of money, so I said, yeah, I just got to become real. And it's really true. When you put yourself in someone else's shoes, you know, you never know where you cross paths, when you'll be up or when you'll be down, and who'll be there on the other side. So I was just feeling that, you know, when people have treated me well, I've always gone out of my way to treat them well, and vice versa. If someone, you know, don't worry, one day when they, you know, are mean and mean-spirited, one day that always comes back to haunt you in some form or another.
So it's karma.
Karma rules.
Yep.
That was exactly what I was going to ask you about, and you already answered my question. Was, you know, when you are kind of treated as a celebrity here, and you get your people lining up for autographs, like, how do you stay humble, you know, in the midst of that kind of treatment, right?
You know, I was a rookie last year, and Jim told me an interesting thing. He said, you know what, this is what's going to happen, and you're going to get a lot more people coming up to you, to be stopped at restaurants, but, you know, you have to accept it, and you accept it because you're a product of what you wanted to do anyways. You made the decision to be part of it. Your popularity is going to grow. Everyone on the Den had growing popularity. You just have to make sure that the reason why you're here is the people that want your signature that are here today. They watch the show, which provides the advertisers for the viewership to really get the funding for the show. So in looking at that, you know, I'm very lucky. And I look at myself as being a lucky individual, being in the position I am, and God bless that I continue on this way. But you know, it's the reason doing this right now. You know, this is the stuff that you can't come in and just do it. You know, you guys are taking the time, you're hanging around here, and a lot of hard work went in to set this up. So I appreciate it very much.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Now we've heard you've taken a bit of a special interest in the Kitchener-Waterloo area.
I have, and it's going to get greater.
What's that all about?
Yeah, can you give us the elevator pitch on WIN?
Well, WIN is the Waterloo Innovation Network, and just that. So right now, we started with about 400,000 square feet and about 6 buildings. We've occupied about 70% of it now, up from about 10%.
Wow.
BlackBerry's in one building, and they take a small part, so we've really spread it around to a lot of what I call the University of BlackBerry. Guys that went there and went to Conestoga or went to Waterloo or Laurier, and they stayed in their community, which is a big part of what I really believe in. I'm a Toronto boy. I grew up in Toronto, but haven't been a part of the early 90s and mid-90s move in Waterloo. I know how the potential of this community, and you know what? It's infectious when you create successes. One success in this environment of one of those companies in the Waterloo Innovation Network will spur on other kids to do the same thing, and that's really what it's about. My kids are now turning, you know, of age to be in university. My daughter, who's now 16, just turned 17 2 days ago.
Wow.
And she'll be, you know, 1 year away from finishing high school, and I'm hoping that she'll be coming to Waterloo, Kitchener, and finding her home here. My son, Andre, who I adopted when he was 8, he's now 20, is going to college here next year at Conestoga. And
he's going to be a condor.
Yeah, and I'm really proud of him. You know,
I'll teach him the secret handshake.
Yeah, you got to do that. He's a good basketball player. Don't let him take you for money.
Yeah.
You'll try that as well. And then I have another daughter who's 1 year behind Danielle, and then twin boys that are 14 that are going to enter grade 9 next year. So, you know, I'm the next little while, I want to position myself, because I am the only parent, single father, or I guess, you know, single father, mother to be combined. That you know, the biggest strength, the biggest wealth I have is in my children, so I want to be a part of their life going forward. And what a better way to do it but create an innovation center where I can see the strength. And really, if you really want to invest in a company, look at their needs for real estate. Look at their needs for hiring. That's how you see where strength. That's how you see how to invest with people. And hopefully we'll do more things outside of just the Waterloo Innovation Network. But again, I'm very lucky to pick that real estate, which took a lot of years for those guys to assemble it. So I kind of came in right place, right time, and always be aggressive when you're first in the door.
Yeah, looks like you're making a good team there. You've got Brenda Halloran on board, and
Mark Arbor,
Ginger Whitney, and a whole bunch of people that are.
And we're going to continue to build it. Walk before you run. Hire slow, and make sure that if you're doing things, fire fast. And I do that for myself as well. So I take myself off the stage and put Brenda in charge, because you can't. If you're going to empower people, it's about empowerment, acknowledgement, responsibility, and they got to have their own responsibilities to the organization and to the community.
Right.
Sure. So,
no self-interest.
So where do you see things going now? You've established this innovation network here, or you're building it. What do the next 1, 2, 3 years look?
I want to
forward?
create, what Liberty Village has done for Toronto. It really has a social commerce and a collection of all these young people that come out there and share technologies. And whether it be Waterloo, Toronto, or Boston, Dallas, Austin, Texas, there's lots of great innovation groups. Guys like Techstars are coming here and say, how do we get involved? Guys that have groups that do, you see what Spears is doing here. There's a lot of interest by a lot of foreign international companies, and that also brings on students that come here to create a community of not just people who grew up here and have roots here, but people who are coming here for a reason. I'm here for a reason. It's a great community. Like I said to people, once they come here and take the drive to Waterloo, Kitchener, you'll see what it's all about. You'll see why I'm here.
Excellent.
5 years to build a business, 10 years to build a brand.
Yep.
Right.
Well, we certainly feel lucky to have you here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Thanks for hanging out today.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for hosting this.
Our pleasure.
Dragon's Den. I'll see all these guys on Dragon's Den. And, I really applaud people that take the challenge to actually go there and do the work and set up an organization that will be a part of the career, because you guys got passion. You guys should continue on this career path. Media is a great passion. It's part of our big investment group right now. I'm an investor in Blue Ant Media with Michael McMillan. I'm an investor in Thunderbird with Frank Justra and Yvonne Fasson. And it's one of these areas that I do see that in Canada, we have to put more to the arts and more to media, because really we have some great individuals here. And if you look at, where the outlet is, it's going to be created online. It's going to be created a whole different medium as we didn't saw before. I gave a speech not too long ago, and I said, how many people in the room have a landline and no one put their hand up? How many people have cable and no one put their hand up? And how many people read the physical newspaper other than myself? Or I use my landline to find my cell phone. Other than that, I don't very much use for it. But I said, how many people have more than one device? 2 devices, 3. And you see that multi-device second screen technology and what's coming on in the future. An iPad didn't exist 6 years ago, so you guys are the future, so I'm just going to ride your coattails.
Awesome.
Excellent. Sounds good to us.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us today, Mike.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for taking the time.
Hope you enjoy the rest of the event.
I definitely will. Thank you again.
Okay.
And I look forward to seeing all the successes out of here.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. We're going to keep telling the story of them. So
see you guys in the Dragon's Den.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thanks.
Here we are with the winners today from the Conestoga College Pitch Day. Dr. Kendall, your congratulations. How do you feel right now?
Great. That's really terrific, and I'm very pleased that the judges thought that I did so well. So I was really impressed with my 2 colleagues who were competing in the AMT Catalyst category. I thought they did a great job, too.
Excellent.
Awesome. And Robert, how about yourself? How do you feel right now? Are you walking on cloud 9? Or?
I'm really excited right now. It was so great too, especially in our category. At 5 different groups doing very different things. So it was really exciting just to even see those other groups and to get that recognition of being one of the winners is awesome.
I heard some crazy cheering coming from your cheerleading section back there.
Yeah, that's definitely my mom for sure. So.
That was awesome. Well, congratulations, guys. Don't forget the little people when you guys make it big. Right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Thanks very much.
Hey, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Congrats,
absolutely.
Guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Awesome. Congrats, guys. Awesome. All right, guys, we want to thank you for joining us on another episode of TSP Weekly, our inaugural video episode. Hopefully we'll have more video to come in the future, but we want to just let you know you can find us on the internet at tspweekly.com. Is everything good over there, Brandon?
I hope you didn't break the camera. Well, we'd like to say thanks to Jennifer and Barbara from the Center for Entrepreneurship for their hospitality and their warm welcome of us and letting us have access to all of the cool pitches and all the judges. Thanks very much. We really appreciate the support.
And if you want to give us any feedback, then feel free to contact us at feedback@tspweekly.com or leave us a message on Twitter. Our handle is TSP Weekly. Please join us next week. We'll be back on our regular Monday recording schedule and with another wonderful guest from the KW startup scene. So until then, take care and we'll see you next week.